In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through a really powerful n8n workflow. We're going to be taking a CSV file or an Excel file and actually feeding every individual row through our n8n workflow. And we're going to be searching for people's LinkedIns and actually scraping their LinkedIn data to create an ultra personalized email. Now, this is a really common use case that not a lot of people know how to build. So I figured I'd make a quick video on this. This is something that you could be selling for $2,000 to $3,000 a pop if you're looking to sell these automations. If you're looking to build this for yourself, well, I'm going to walk you through the entire thing in this video. And before I dive into it, if you're new to the channel, my name's Elliot. I run my agency, ManyFlow AI. So if you're looking for an automation like this built for you, just click the link in the description down below to book a call with me and my team. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. But here's what the built out workflow looks like. It starts with a on-form submission node here. This is really just to upload our CSV or Excel file, and that's going to be our trigger. So I'm actually just going to run this to show you guys how it works. And before we do that, we need to pull up our CSV file. So I have a file here with some basic lead data: first name, last name, phone, some emails. Now, a lot of this is just fake information for the purpose of this video, but I have my real name, obviously fake phone number, my email, and then some extra information here. Now, as you'll notice here, there isn't any background information, right? All the workflow has access to is really just my name, a fake phone number, and actually my email address. So we want to go ahead and find my LinkedIn and actually scrape the LinkedIn to provide some background information. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this CSV. We can see I have 10 rows of data here, which says at the bottom down here. And I'm going to individually feed this through the workflow. So it's going to be 10 items. So I'm going to go back to the workflow. I'm going to do execute workflow. Here I'm going to choose my file. Okay, click on submit, and that is now going to execute the workflow. I'm going to briefly run you through what's going on, and then at the end of this workflow, go more in depth into every individual node here. The most important step here is our extract from file. So this is extracting from the CSV and outputting 10 items. Those 10 items are each individual row. Then we have a loop over item. I want to actually individually loop those 10 items, and then AI model doesn't get overloaded. So we're really essentially controlling the rate limiting here, just so we don't feed too much at once. We don't want to feed all 10 items at once. This is looking for my LinkedIn profile. Here we have a little bit of logic I'm going to dive deeper into. And then once we have the actual LinkedIn profile, the LinkedIn URL, I'm using an Apify API call to scrape the URL. A little bit more formatting and logic here with the code step. And then here we are actually having OpenAI, so a GPT model, create our email, creating the draft, and then uploading and updating all of that information into a Google Sheet. So I'm going to pull up the Google Sheet. Right now, we can see that 2 items have passed through so far. Because we are individually feeding 10 items, it's going to take a little bit of time. And I also have a wait node here, just not to feed everything at once to the Anthropic model. So going to my Google Sheet, we can see that I already have the 2 first rows. So I have me. This is actually my business partner that I've included in here with a fake email though. And we can see that it picked my email, it got his email, and we also have Will got his email. So all 3 of these people are people I work with. The rest are all fake. So I'm glad that it was actually able to find the 3 LinkedIns. And then my status says email drafted. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my drafts while this is still executing as well. And here we go. This was the email that I drafted. So let's go start with mine here. Hi, Elliot. Question was just quick question. So the subject was just quick question. And I said, hi, Elliot. Saw you're leading ManyFlow AI and helping companies integrate automation at scale. Curious, do you ever run into teams? So obviously I'm using like a fake product in my prompt because I don't have actually a product to sell for the purpose of this video. But you can see that it knows I was working at ManyFlow AI. It pulled that. And the same with Ferris. And I'm assuming it's going to be the same for William because we all work together, right? Well, Will, it's just said William. Now, if I were to go back here and see, so because these were still fake, it still was able to pull a LinkedIn off of this name, Natalie Garcia. Now, I have no idea who this is. ChatGPT just gave me this fake name and a fake email and a fake phone number, but based off those 2 names, first and last, I still get a LinkedIn. I do need to log in here, so let me go through my account. Okay, I was able to just bypass that. So I get a Natalie Garcia LinkedIn here, and we get College of Business and Technology Miami. That might not be a great example, but we can take a look at our draft to Natalie. and we'll see what kind of email was drafted here. So Natalie was over here. Let me close this. Saw you studied at the College of Business and Technology, right? We're using that LinkedIn information as background, as context. Cool. So I have 10 items. Let me check on the rest of the workflow. We're at 9 right now. So I'll probably just go ahead and skip and wait till it runs through that last item here. But you can see we grab that basic information, go find a LinkedIn, scrape the LinkedIn, and then create that personalization email. So let me go ahead and just skip until this is done. All right, the workflow has just finished. Let's go node by node here, see what's going on. And I do want to mention that this template is going to be available in my free school community in the description down below. Starting from an on-form submission, this one's very easy. All I did was add a form title called the upload file. The field name is actually important because this is the name of our binary data, right? I'm feeding in a file, which is going to come out as binary in n8n. So I'm calling that data, which is this field here. Label, I just called it upload. This doesn't really matter. The element type is file. This is really important because we want to make sure that we have the ability to upload a file, not just like a drop down or an email or text. The field, the type is going to be file. Now I could include multiple files if I wanted to. If I could make this a little bit more complex, I could route different branches. We do have that option. And we could also do accepted file types where we can only specify, hey, this is only for Excel files or this is only for CSV files. But I did not include any restrictions there. Okay, so that is our trigger, right? We are starting with an upload file. Now this is probably the most important node here. We want to extract that file. So I'm using an extract from file, extract from CSV node here. Now there isn't much configuration here. We just type in the name of our binary data. So I called it data. I just type in data. And from here, we can see our output. We get 10 items for every individual row. And these fields here are actually the columns from the file. If I go to table view, it's going to look very familiar. First name, last name, phone, email, everything from the CSV is now imported inside of n8n. Now this could also work with 100 rows, 500 rows, 10,000 rows. You just have to be careful if you're using AI models. This might take a very long time to execute. Make sure you're looping items over so you're not kind of crashing your workflow. So when you're working with a lot of data, this gets a little bit more complicated and you got to be a little bit more careful. But for now, we're using 10 items. Everything ran successfully. Okay, now this is really important. I'm doing a loop over items. Now what this means, essentially n8n automatically loops these items for us, but I want to manually do this to get a little bit more control. The reason being, not having a loop over item would actually feed in all 10 at once, hit this node 10 times, and then hit this node 10 times, etc. What I want to do is do that once at a time. So batch size of 1, which means it's going to go through the entire flow and then hit the second item. Not going to do 10, 10, and 10. It's going to do 1 all over, and then the second one, then the third one. So I'm just kind of adding more control to the flow. All right, and then once it's done, it doesn't do anything because our actions are already at the end of the loop. I'm waiting, I believe 6 seconds here. Now this isn't really necessary. I just want to add a little bit extra time so I don't overload my Anthropic model, okay? Usually by the time it hits the end here, it's already been quite some time. It's maybe been like 30 seconds. I'm just adding an extra 6 seconds just to be safe, but you don't have to have a wait node here. All right, now this is a really important node here. I'm using a message model Anthropic node. I'm using the Claude Sonnet 4.5 model. Now for my prompt, I have all of the input data here that I want to use to search the LinkedIn profile. So I'm just grabbing from the extract file node, first name, last name, location, and email. I'm just giving AI this info to be like, hey, use this, do a Google search, go search the web, and find me their LinkedIn. And that is just our prompt here for just the input data. I then have a system prompt that explains in detail what it needs to do, right? You must only use the search tool to find the URL. You must only return a personal LinkedIn profile. I'm giving it some more rules here, and I'm saying not found, do not make up a fake URL. If there is nothing found from the person from the info I provide, don't make something up because AI loves to hallucinate sometimes. So I'm saying just output not found. All right, now it seems that we actually got 2 not founds, okay? Out of the 10 items, we've gotten 8 that were successful, and two that were not. So no action was completed here. No email was sent because I don't have any background information. So this would be maybe for manual outreach. Now, if I go back to my workflow, we can actually see 8 items pass through here and then 2 items pass through here. So it adds up to 10. 8 were successful. It went to the URL to scrape it. No URL was found. It goes here and updates the sheet. And I'll dive into that in just a second. Let's finish covering the Anthropic node. We want to make sure to turn on the web search tool. This is the built-in feature inside of the Anthropic node to search the web. So without this on, it can't do that Google search and find the LinkedIn. So turn that on. Everything's already done for you in the template. Now, here is some logic I'm adding. If the text, the output of my Anthropic node, and I do want to mention, this is quite a large output, right? If I go to the schema view, we get a bunch of information back. Because this node, the way it works is it actually outputs all of their tool calls. So I can see that I have content 1, so content at index 0, content index 1, content index 2. So this is the amount of times that it actually like called the tool. I don't care about any of that. I want it internally to grab all that info and give me the output here, the last one, which is the text. So this is what I'm pulling directly into my node here. The last output, which would be this URL here. So this is where it'll say not found, or it'll say the URL. If I go to let's check the run that had a not found here. This would have been the 8th run, okay, because this is row 1. The 8th run normally had not found as an output. If I scroll down, we can see text not found. And that's why it hit that if statement, went down here, updated my sheet that I've created, still pulling in all the info, but the LinkedIn URL was not found and the status, no action completed. And then it re-loops back to the beginning of this node to run the next items. Now, what if we do get a LinkedIn URL, right? Like for example, let's just run with the first item. That was my LinkedIn right here, right? LinkedIn Elliot Girardi. That is going to go through a little bit more reassurance. You go through the code node here. This is something that I had AI write completely for me. I didn't want to code this. And it says right here, this is our output. Oh, this was for the 8th item. This is just a little bit more precaution. I'm making sure that the actual output from our AI is a valid link, because even with my strict prompt being like, hey, either output the URL or not found, maybe it'll output something that's invalid. It'll be like a random, it'll be a correct, technically correct URL, just might have like extra numbers or things like that at the end if for some reason the prompt were to fail. I'm writing some code here just to double check that it's actually formatted correctly. And then that would hit another if statement, because if the output is invalid, it's actually going to output invalid. Okay, if the link, the URL isn't great, it'll output invalid, which is going to be the second if statement here to hit that Google Sheet one last time to update it. Okay, and it seems that it actually didn't hit at all during this execution. This didn't hit once, so every link we've had seems to apparently have been valid. All right, now let's jump into Apify. This node is how we're able to run an actor and run that LinkedIn URL and scrape it. So to do that, we want to go to Apify right here, make an account. You can use this on a free trial. This is the actor I'm using. It's called LinkedIn Profile Scraper plus email. Make an account. My usage right now is 20 cents out of $5, and I haven't had to pay for anything. You would want to go to the Apify store, and you want to find that LinkedIn scraper. So I would probably just go back here, grab that. LinkedIn profile plus scraper plus email, no cookies. I want to find that. It'll probably be this one here. Yeah, it seems to be. And we want to actually add it to our dashboard. It's going to say like add actor or rent actor. You're going to add that. And you're going to go to actors here. You're going to find it. So these are previous ones that I was using that I didn't want to. I'm going to click on this. And I want to go to the input tab, click on JSON, and I want to copy this body over here. This is what we need to feed in for the API. We're using this via API. If I want to use it in Apify, I have it right here. I could click on start, and this will run my hard-coded LinkedIn. But I want to make this dynamic, so I have to use it via API. So I'm going to grab that JSON body, go back to my workflow, and I'm going to paste it in right here. I'm using an Apify node. The node is called run actor and get dataset. So I grab my API key from Apify. We just go to the API section, make a key, very easy, and we copy that key, and then we make our credentials up here. Now the resource, running an actor, operation, well, resource is actor, operation is run an actor and get dataset. So this is where we can change what API we'd want to do, but I want to do run an actor and get dataset. Okay, I'm going to select my actor from my dropdown, the one that I've added to my account. I'm pasting in that exact body that we just copied with dynamically the URL we want to use. We want to grab it from the JavaScript code, because that is what's rechecking to make sure it's valid. So I'm grabbing that LinkedIn URL, putting it here. We can see it's the same variable, LinkedIn URL. I could have probably renamed this like updated LinkedIn URL, but that's the one we want to feed in here. And then that's about it. We get an output of everything being scraped here. I've got my entire LinkedIn being scraped. So there's so much data. I don't want to feed all this data to AI. There's way too much going on and a lot of nonsense as well, which is why I have another code node here. And what this is doing is I'm grabbing all the important keys. So like things like their skills, things like, we could probably expand this. I'm creating a single paragraph, concatenated, like a comma separated paragraph with all this information down here through this code, right? We're joining things together. So I can just feed in one single variable to my email generator, and that's it. I don't have to individually pick each thing that I want to grab. It's already all in my code for me. And then from there, right, we take a message model using OpenAI, simply using GPT-4o for this. And I'm saying, hey, here's the prompt. You're going to be an email generator. You're an expert B2B cold email copywriter. All right, I gave a little bit of an identity here. And the actual prompt itself, I'm just feeding in the code right here, personalization, which would be the recipient background down here, okay? I'm feeding in all of that concatenated information from my Apify. And then here I'm just grabbing like the actual headline and also the first name. But really, we want the recipient background, which should probably be in here as well. Okay, now let's finish up here. We are just doing a Gmail node, creating a draft. My message is the output of my OpenAI model here, text, just grabbing that in here. We're doing an email type as text. The subject, I just hard-coded it, quick question. We can maybe do quick question and then the first name as a variable, and then the to email would just be their email extracted from the extract from file node here. Okay, and then that just updates the Google Sheet where we have email drafted, hard-coded, the LinkedIn URL that was found, and all the information from extract from file all the way back at the end. And then it just re-loops as many times as we want within those items. And if you're serious about learning AI automation and learning how to build these things yourself, not just n8n, but VoiceFlow, voice agents from Retell AI, other platforms like make.com, and how to actually get started in landing your first client, I've actually just launched my new community here, where I actually teach you everything you need to know, everything from 2 years of experience. I have a whole section clearly explaining how to master make.com, how to master AI agents like VoiceFlow and Retell AI, a whole n8n course, some more technical stuff like deploying apps and hosting them, a whole business section here as well. Just launched this community like a few days ago, so I just wanted to mention that if you are interested and you are serious about landing your first client and really wanting to master all of the stuff covered on the channel, definitely recommend you checking that out. So that just about wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, share, or subscribe, whatever you want to do. It definitely helps my channel grow. Make sure to check out the description down below for all my links. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.